Hey folks, just sitting around here, 10:42 a.m., Saturday, the 30th of August, in a little mountain town called Chica, Chica, in Panama. It's quite beautiful. I think I've posted a few videos. So, just wanted to say hello. Um, I don't really feel like podcasting on vacation. I need to be in my space, my little office there, or in the front house when everyone's gone to bed on the mountain. But I just wanted to touch base and say, oh, I'm just enjoying myself thoroughly. And it's a wonderful, wonderful vacation. And yeah, Panama is quite a bit different than Costa Rica. It is, I'd say, more advanced, more American, better infrastructure, more high rises in the city, like Panama City. Holy cow! But I'm not in the city this trip. I'm in the mountains. But here in the mountains, when you look around, there's a lot of cultivation. Like a lot of the mountains have been cleared for farmland and things like this. Whereas where I live, it's Jurassic Park. It's as wild as it's been for the last, I don't know, 100,000 years, or as wild as it's been since the last pole flip, I'd say. And this is much more cultivated. I mean, it's still they say there is a black panther that the people up here see once in a while. Um, so there's enough forested area to support a few large mammals like that, but it's not nearly as wild. I've been shopping like a teenage girl in Malibu, but nothing really for myself. I got a cell phone for my 14-year-old nephew, Jekyll. I got a pair of Adidas running shoes for my wife. I got 3 t-shirts for myself. Um, Everything is much cheaper here. And I was reading in an article just yesterday that Panama is now the #1 retirement destination for North Americans in these indexes they do. I think Costa Rica has been priced out. And I think that there's a lot of problems with the cartels and the escalating violence in Costa Rica, which doesn't affect me in my rural area, but you see it a lot more in the cities. And my host, Jim, who's a regular listener of the Talamanca Review, I mean, many of you probably know him, um, he gave me a fascinating dissertation on flat Earth yesterday that was quite compelling. And Jim is an engineer by education. So he's a logical, mathematical thinker. And, you know, maybe I'll talk about that when I get back home. But when I asked to see it, what I was shown in meditation was the shape of a tortoise. And that's the shape I was shown for the Earth. It's like a tortoise. It's neither flat nor round. But at the end of the day, it's all the same thing. What we're all noticing are the gaps in what we've been told is official reality. And that reality is being propagated to us by people who do know better, who do have a greater measure of the truth. Yoshi, I'll do that. I'll fold my clothes. Don't worry.
Oh, I do. So,
Okay. I'm being catered to like a king here. It's like the Hilton Hotel.
hanging days up.
Hmm?
Take on that.
No, I'm not hungry right now. Thanks. Yeah. You don't get what I've noticed about the carnivore diet is like when I get back to Costa Rica, I will probably be down to 1 meal a day. And then probably ultimately as I evolve in this diet, and I probably will add some greens into my diet, but I think I'm going to stay away from heavy carbohydrates like rice and potatoes and things like that. Um, but this diet is so nutrient rich in the meats that I think ultimately I'll be eating every other day. I will be in a perpetual state of fasting, like 150 days per year, because you just don't need to eat that much when you're eating meat. And sorry, I got a little distracted there. So, flat Earth is another example of the human race waking up to at least the fourth dimension. And through the combined data field of the fourth dimension, which is becoming more and more accessible to people. And this doesn't mean that necessarily that everybody's astral traveling now or lucid dreaming or anything like that. It's just at an intuitive level, at the level of pure consciousness, it's much easier to get access to the fourth dimension now. And this is what I tried to explain. I don't think I did a very good job though. But what I tried to explain in the podcast Merging Dimensions. So everybody is starting to perceive a lot of the falsities of of our reality, and everybody will have various expertise. And if flat Earth is going to be proven, and or round Earth is going to be disproven, it'll come out of the engineering class. Who begin to wake up and start merging dimensions in their own consciousness. My specialty is deconstructing narrative. That's my genius. Okay. And it has to do with a very special gift with language I was given in this lifetime. And so this is why I go at the religion so much. And because a narrative structure should not be your spiritual life. You should not be running to a book to answer all your questions. This I know definitively. And we will know more and more people are waking up when they start to snap out of this nonsense. And this is why I go so hard at the books, you know, because it's not a proper spiritual life. It's not a practicing spiritual life. It's a proper religious life. But I think in the transition the human race is going through, we are going to outgrow religion. We are not going to be listening to people who don't know what they're talking about anymore and who just memorized a book and studied a book and thought about a book. It's not going to happen anymore. And then we're going to face the problem of negative multidimensional people. And we're going to have to work through that because they're not, just because you're multidimensional doesn't mean you're good, right? Go on this very Substack, you can go and read. If you go to the text posts I've done, you can sift through them and you can read the 15,000 words over 2 articles I wrote about the Galactic Historian. And I've seen many more people like this, many more people with multidimensional consciousness who have not given themselves over to the divine and acted in a good and generous way. So that's a battle for the future. But the battle we're fighting now is literally going to a multidimensional reality where it's common for people to speak and interact in a multidimensional reference. And as it begins to happen, there'll be a lot of pushback. There'll be pushback from the gatekeepers and enforcers. And very often these people are not who you think they are. They're people like Jimmy Kimmel. They're people like Stephen Colbert. David Letterman was a fantastic gatekeeper when and Howard Stern. If you'll notice, all of these big personalities in media, they're gatekeepers. They reinforce the black box rationality. And it can be done through humor by mocking people who have a multidimensional view of reality. But the one thing Jim and I agree on, flat Earth, round Earth, or tortoise Earth, irregardless of that, the one thing we agree on is that more and more people are questioning the foundational precepts of the reality that we live in, which is the beginning of spiritual growth, which is, what we've gotten from the Eastern teachings for a couple millennium, that this reality we live in is Maya. It's an illusion. And it's not really an illusion. And I've said this before, but I got to start reinforcing some of my core points. I don't like it when the Buddhists and the Eastern paths, even Sant Mat and Sikhism and a lot of these Eastern paths, say that this physical world is an illusion. I said before, if anybody ever says that to you, no matter what livery he's attired in, livery is the uniform of trade. You know, if they come at you with the robe and the beads and the beard, that's a livery. No matter what livery they appear in, just look back at them and say, is the spirit of the creator here? Is the spirit or the energetic expression of the creator of creators, the singularity, if you will, the non-dual creator, is that spirit here growing this world and sustaining this world? And they're obviously going to have to say yes. And when they say yes, you look at them and you go, well, it's not an illusion then. The illusory part of it is the co-creative aspect we've been given as human beings with the God spark and the inability to manage that. That's what it is. I think today is just going to be a lazy day, sitting around listening to audiobooks, watching YouTube videos. I went to a cigar rolling place and they actually grow their own tobacco and everything. I bought 100 cigars for $100. My wife's not thrilled. She prefers me to be on the vape, but Bruce is Bruce. And I'm going to do what I'm going to do, right? So that's a little short update for today. I should be back on the mountain Monday night, unless I spend a night in San Jose, which I might do. I found out from the agency I'm using in Ottawa that my papers won't be ready until about the 19th of September. So I hope I don't have any problems getting back in through immigration. I shouldn't. I have a copy of my marriage license and everything. I have not completely conformed to the Costa Rican immigration laws. I went a long time with a visa lapse, not leaving the country. And quite frankly, if Latin America were run under the same spirit as America is being running now under Trump, they'd be hunting me. So I hope I get a compassionate immigration guard or somebody who just stamps my passport without getting too detailed. And then this next 6 months I have to finalize my immigration, so I'll get all that done. Yeah, so it's a wonderful trip. I can't believe how cheap Panama is. Everything is 40 or 50% of what it is in Costa Rica. And that's because Costa Rica is what Trump is trying to do with America. It is a government that run like 80, 90% of the budget of the Costa Rican government comes from tariffs. Okay? So, and those tariff and it makes life very expensive for the people. So, like a 25-year-old car in Costa Rica would be double what you would pay in Cincinnati, Miami, or Chicago. Double, at least double, maybe more, a little bit more than double. And that's because the government puts these really large import taxations on everything that comes in. Like, so if you buy a new MacBook Pro, the new M4, you go on Amazon right now, you'll see one of their top models for about 2,200 US. Costa Rica, you're looking closer to 4,000, right? Everything's like that. So when people come to Panama, they shop like crazy. So it's going to be funny to go back through customs with like 3 pairs of new running shoes, a new cell phone still in the box, 100 cigars. I wonder what they're going to say. But anyways, that's my little update while I'm here on vacation, and I'm enjoying myself and the company I have very, very much. So peace out. Love you folks. I'll see you soon. I got a lot of energy building up for podcasts, which I will dispatch in the coming week. And you might be getting 2 a day. I'm so backed up. Peace out, folks. This is Bruce MacDonald. Quick update, Telemaker review.